New business. Discussion, a vote on resolution allocating payment of
Stipend.
stipend?
Stipend.
Not stipend. Stipend to the Pecatonica Highway District Treasurer.
So you guys have that resolution in front of you?
Yes, we
It's
do.
104. I'm helping you, don't worry. There you go, sir.
Well, it says here, the supervisor has never previously been paid the stipend in the Pecatonica Road District and has established a rate of compensation for funds for the post. And the attorney said, unless we okayed this, he was gonna sue us. So, I guess it's a gun to your head that we gotta okay this?
No, no, you don't have to okay it. It's just the law that
Well-
says that I was supposed to.
It had to be voted on, I thought, before you took it, before the new
4 years ago,
board took on, and it was never voted on.
Okay, all right.
And Vern, I was paid to be the treasurer of Bruce's because I wrote all of his checks. I didn't have, Mrs. Remmers come in.
You had a
I
secretary.
wrote the checks.
Yeah.
And so
That's right.
I was given
Yeah.
money to oversee his fund. That is correct.
Yeah.
I was paid once a year, I think.
That's all you're allowed to have, you know, so much a year.
Last year, 4 years ago, when you approved it, who was gonna get paid what, you know, how much money we were gonna get paid and so forth. That wasn't part of it, right?
It never
No, that's
brought
all-
up.
If you, yeah, it wasn't set on that, I agree.
And when
By law, yeah.
I attend meetings in Bloomington on
Uh-huh.
a regular basis, and I've asked you, can I get paid? Because every other person on that board down there gets paid by their township. They pay the mileage, and then the township pays them to go to the meeting, $100, and I've asked you, and you said, no, you can't get that. And, so, you kinda said that if it wasn't voted on, you can't do it. So, I'm gonna have to vote no on this.
Well, that's fine, you go right ahead. Okay. Anybody else got any questions?
I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
I looked at this in the book, what it says about it. And then just because I don't know exactly how closely this correlates to the statute, I looked up the statute that this reference and noticed that it is a direct quote. Now, I'm not an attorney, that's what Mike here is for, useful to have sometimes. But it says, except as otherwise provided to the road district treasurer, and it determines beforehand that the road district treasurer is the supervisor in a single.
Yeah,
Okay. It says the road district treasurer must, in addition to any other compensation which he or she is entitled by law, receive an annual salary of not less than $100 nor more than $1,000 per year to be paid. Maybe Mike can help me with that, but when I read something that says, when I read something that says must, that usually means it has to happen.
What's the next sentence in the statute?
I want Mike to look at it.
Well, that's not the statute, that's the,
This is just something that's quoted, but the statute here that the quote
Can you
is
give me the statute?
605 ILCS 5/6-207 subsection D.
5/ what's the section number?
6-207, subsection D.
Okay, I think I have the statutes open on my tablet, give me 1 second.
So we're going back, even when he wasn't there. But if they don't vote on it and approve it, they're gonna take it to court.
It says in here, the district treasurer shall, and when the Illinois laws use the word shall, usually, not always, but usually it's mandatory. If they want to make it discretionary, they use the word may. There are some court cases where the courts have interpreted shall to mean may, but as a general rule, it's a mandatory act. The district treasurer shall, in addition to any other compensation to which he or she is by law entitled, receive an annual salary of not less than $100, no more than $1,000 per year, to be fixed by the Highway Board of Trustees in Consolidated Township Road Districts and by the Board of Town Trustees in districts composed of a single township. Except as otherwise provided, the treasurer shall, in addition to any other compensation, receive an annual salary deemed appropriate and fixed by the county board in road districts not under the township organization. The compensation of the district treasurer shall be paid from the general township fund in districts composed of a single township. Okay. Shall normally means mandatory. You don't have a choice, you have to do it. So you would have to set an amount according to that statute of somewhere between $100 and $1,000 per year.
But I was coming to these meetings, and Dick, you remember, man, Brian, and it was never mentioned that he was to get this money. And so shall or will or whatever, and especially since you're not writing the checks, if you want to get the $1,000, give it to Colleen. You know, she's the one that's doing the work. I wrote the checks every month for Bruce. And you're not doing that, you oversee it, I suppose you look at it.
Who do you think signs them?
I said, I suppose you look at them, yes. Look at them as worth $1,200 or $1,000 or whatever, you know.
Okay.
I just don't believe so. And it was never mentioned prior to setting the salaries for the 4 years.
Correct. Are you two done speaking?
I believe so.
Okay. You got anything, Dick? No. Ryan?
Just the other question I would have, Mike. Now, when it comes to setting compensation at the start of a term, is this something that we should go back on, do you think, or?
That's a question you should ask John, but I mean, the statute has been in effect unchanged since 1998. So it was imposed a mandatory duty for the board to set a salary. And if it hasn't done it before, you know, technically they're entitled to it, so you'd have to, you would be corrective action. Normally you set salaries for elected, this isn't an elected position, this is an ex officio position by reason of being township supervisor. He or she is automatically the treasurer of the road district. So the normal 6-month rule, you have to set a salary 6 months before the elections, would not apply. Because the treasurer is not elected by the citizens. It's an ex officio position. So I would think a judge would say they're entitled to it if challenged.
Oh, what do you believe? I was not on the township trustees board until after I was elected here. Once I got elected, it was explained to me that I would get $100 compensation from my own board. They say they cannot pay that. Does that still apply in the same way?
Mr. Anderson, I don't understand your question, I'm sorry. You-
Oh, okay,
You're
let me-
in this middle of this that I've heard nothing about before right now.
Okay, I was elected to represent this township on the trustees board for the state of Illinois.
Okay.
See,
Their policy is, they will pay the mileage for me to go to Bloomington,
Right.
but the township would pay $100 a meeting for me to attend those meetings and represent this board. And I have asked Joe on a couple occasions, and Joe said, well, no, we can't do it because that's increasing your salary. And if you can increase his, can you increase mine?
I don't know the laws on this, your situation is outside of the scope of this statute that we're looking at right now.
Absolutely.
So I can't give you an opinion right off the top of my head.
Okay.
There is a general prohibition in the Constitution against increasing or decreasing the salary or compensation of an elected official during the term of office for which he or she is elected. Okay? But if there's a statute that you have to follow and you didn't follow it, that's the situation. Not for you, I'm not talking about your case.
Okay.
I'm talking about the situation involving the township district treasurer.
Here, yes.
There's a statute that you had to follow that you didn't follow. That's what this resolution, as I'm understanding, is directed to.
I understand.
okay,
Want to make a motion that we accept this resolution?
Do we have a second on the table?
I'll second.
okay. Well, we've discussed it and everything, so is there any more discussion? Well, we'll take a vote on it.
Mr. Boomer,
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman,
Yeah.
Mr. Sarver,
Abstain.
and Mr. Anderson.
I am voting no, and I don't think the supervisor should vote on his own compensation.
Good call.
I still have to ask
Yep, you'd still have
Supervisor.
it. Yep,
Voting no.
Of course.
yes,
Of course.
Okay, so then what I need you guys to do, I'm gonna pass this around if you wouldn't mind, this back part, filling it out for me, please and thank you.
Sure.
Can I ask what you actually set it for, the dollar amount?
The dollar amount was $1,000.
It was $100 annual.
$100 annual?
It quoted he had 10 years in and he was due $100 a year, which comes to $10,000.
$1,000.
$1,000,
I can vote for that.
wrong zero.
yeah, I didn't either.
So you made this retroactive 10 years, even though he was a supervisor for that whole time? And treasurer.
Bonus.
You gotta get the bonus in there.
He chose the less.
I break your own compensation?
He chose the minimum.